Finally, we have some new information on One Piece World Seeker. We finally know what this game is all about. I've been waiting so long for this day. We've seen the gameplay already, and you guys know my opinion at this point. One Piece World Seeker is hype! But walking around this island is like, there are houses, there's a military camp, there's a damn castle. What is Luffy doing around here? And we finally have some answers. We finally know what's going on. We finally know what World Seeker is all about. We're going to dive into the setting today in this video. Most of this information comes from a scan pulled from shonengames.com, so as usual, huge shout out to those guys. They do some amazing work on that website. So we'll be diving into this scan, this text heavy scan today, and breaking it down. What does it all mean? Okay, this is Jail Island. That's the actual name of the island. I don't know who named it. They have terrible naming conventions, but that's the name of the island now. It's called the Jail Island. This place has some history that will influence the game's story. There are military installations all around the island, and it looks like the Marines are actually using the island as a jail of sorts. There's an underwater prison somewhere in the island that even rivals Impel Down, according to a previous scan. There's a big wall that surrounds the entire island, which might be the reason why it has this name. But what's more interesting about the island itself is that there's a big contrast here between high technology and nature. The military has moved in, so the island is full of high-tech material and military equipment, and at the same time lots of nature and lush landscapes full of green. We also know that at some point on this island there was a big war. The darkness is on the move is what it says on the scan, and it seems that it has caused some trouble in the past. We don't know much about this darkness, but it seems to be a main plot point in the game, and it was a part of some big war in the past as well. Now, the world government has restored the peace and order to this island, and from the ashes of this war grew this new culture, these people, these innovations. All thanks to the all-loving and peaceful world government. The natives of this island, for the most part, they really love nature, they really love the green and lush landscapes they have, and despite the military presence in the island now, they hesitate to adopt that technology. They like their old ways, they like their nature, their agriculture, whatever they do. They don't need the military coming in with their innovations. Technology is a very scary thing, okay? And while that may be true for most of the people living in the island, others have taken advantage of these resources and moved to some more urban areas. They live in places with skyscrapers, which is something that we had not seen in gameplay before. It seems that this island is super diverse, because this environment looks very different from what we've seen in the past. Like any Spider-Man game, it's way better to web-sling where there are skyscrapers than where there's just a couple of trees. And with Luffy's Spider-Man-like ability in this game, skyscraper sounds like a good idea. It seems throughout the game we'll be able to learn more about this island's history by inspecting the monoliths that are scattered around the island. These monoliths include the history of this island, and as you find them, you read about it and you uncover more and more of its secrets. Someone has tried to pass down the history by putting these monoliths all over the island. It would be way better to just write a book about it, or maybe write the entire history in one place, but no, I guess we're gonna have to explore the entire island to find out exactly what happened. Also, certain areas on the island seem to be covered by these huge minerals, which are also linked to the World Seeker story. I really love the fact that there's all this back history for the island that will influence the game's story. It's almost like the island itself is a character within the game, and I know that at the very least, I'm very curious to find out more about it. Now, we've become used to looking at the world government as the bad guys in One Piece, but they really have come to this island and saved it from a big war in the past. Now, did they do it out of a sense of duty or an obligation to the people, or was there some other reason? Maybe they wanted to take control of the island because it seems like it's a super safe prison facility now, or maybe there's something else going on. Something we might learn as we uncover this island's secrets. There's a conspiracy that's been sealed by the island, and it's this conspiracy that is drawing everyone to it, because this game won't just be about Luffy versus the Marines. We can expect all sorts of different factions joining in on this island. Several factions are meeting here, and each one of them is gonna have a different goal. So what are these several different factions, and what are they doing in the island? First, we have the Revolutionary Army, with Sabo confirmed to be in the game. Sabo comes to stop the rampage of the world government is what the scan reads, though personally I had no idea the government was going through a rampage, so I guess we'll learn more about it in the future. Cypherpol is also on the island, the Black Ops World Government Agency, and it's Cypherpol Zero, the strongest of all the Cypherpol units, along with Rob Lushi, accompanied by his Machines of Death. No idea what that means. And finally, of course the Marines are here, but we have now confirmed the presence of Smoker and Tashiji as well. Lately, these two have been fighting, you know, alongside the government, for the government. They work for the government, they always have, but lately they've been realizing that the government's keeping a lot of secrets and they kinda don't like that. So their role in this game might be very interesting as well, as it has been lately in the series. At the bottom of the scan, we can also read, "Keep an eye out for June's V-Jump. A new group approaches?" Interesting. Who do you think that is? There's another faction coming to join all of these already. Is it another pirate group? Maybe a Shichibukai? Maybe a government admiral? Who would you like to see? Let me know in those comments down below. And that kind of wraps up the information on the setting of this island, but the scan does go into a bit of gameplay. Now, most of the details we already knew about, like you can see through walls using the observation haki, which basically gives you detective vision, and in combat you can also use haki to boost your skills. And for the first time we see the elephant machine gun, so rejoice because you'll be able to use that move in game. So what do you think about the setting behind this island? Are you curious to learn more about it, or does this stuff just not sound interesting at all? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Last time around we analyzed the first gameplay that we got for this game, and it's the only gameplay we have so far. You can watch that video right here. If you're in the mood for something else, there's also the video at the bottom, but as always, thank you very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!